welcome back to my channel, Coaching with Christian. I am super excited to talk to you guys about something that has been like a struggle in my life for the past 10 years when it comes to my health and wellness. So we are going to dive right into it. A lot of you have probably heard about gut health over the past couple years. It's been very popular in the wellness aspect. So today we are going to talk about gut health, and I just want to give you guys some tips on how important your gut health is. And I also want to give you some tips on what not to do from my perspective, because I've been struggling with gut health for about 10 years almost, until recently when I was able to get some testing done to see what was going on. But anyways, I'll get to that story. So I'm going to just dive right in. It's giving you guys some background on my own struggles with gut health. So I used to live in Europe, and I was there for a couple years living with my husband. And I don't know if you know this, but the food in Europe and other places in the world is completely different than the food here in the US. It's pretty wild and pretty bizarre how different it is. The food industry in other countries are very strict. They don't allow a lot of preservatives and chemicals and additives in the food, as opposed to the US, where we have food that is just packed full of crap and nothing that is beneficial for our body, just to keep it preserved, and just super ultra processed. Well, I lived in Italy, so there were a lot of ingredients and stuff that you wouldn't find in foods. So I lived overseas for a while, and I noticed when we would come back home to the US, which we only did one or two times the whole time we were there. Anytime we would come back to the US and eat anything, my husband and I, especially me, I would struggle so badly with my gut. It would be bad. Anything I ate would just mess my stomach up 100%. It was awful. So I had that issue anytime we would come back. So fast forward, we moved back to the US after living in Europe for a while, and I started having severe gut issues. Okay, from that point, my belly was just all over the place, and just anything that I would eat, just trash. It was just garbage. And this went on for a very, very long time, almost 10 years. So in the past, I think in 2020 is when things started to get really, really bad for me. I had been dealing with some gut health issues. So my symptoms were, I had baby poop. Y'all, I hadn't had a solid poop in almost 10 years. And I thought that was my norm. And anytime I would eat, it would just go straight through me, all the time. I would have severe bloating, and gas, just my stomach would just be blowed up. It would look like this when I woke up in the morning. Why? This is actually a picture of me fresh out of waking up, putting on clothes, and not eating dinner the night before. And I looked like this. It was awful. I also would have bouts of nausea. I would eat and then not feel good. And it didn't matter what I ate. It all was the same. So I was just on the struggle bus. I was struggling, and I was okay, I cannot take this anymore, because it started to get really severe. I think what my wake up call was, I started having severe stomach cramps in the middle of the night. It didn't matter what I ate. It just would just hit me it would be 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, feeling like someone's stabbing me in my stomach. I'm balled up in the ball in bed. This started to be very consistent. And I'm oh my gosh, I gotta get it together. Of course, I wait another year because I'm not smart apparently, and I was busy with life, so I just kind of put myself on the back burner. So I officially started to seek out help last year and try to figure out like, what is going on? Like, this is not normal. I was starting to get like severe brain fog. Like, I was having issues like, y'all, I was having issues like thinking, and like, so like I would think something and try to speak and it wouldn't come out. Like, I thought like, is this like, I don't know, some kind of like brain issue that I'm having? Or, you know, with me being in the medical slash wellness field, I know about the gut brain connection, right? So I was starting to get really scared. Like, what is happening? So, of course, my first thought is I have parasites. Like, I've traveled all over to many, many different countries, and I have eaten food from all over the place. Like, and I've been in waters, foreign bodies of water. So I'm like, I have a parasite. Like, I just know it. Like, it's manifesting now. It was dormant for like 10 years and now it's here. Like, duh. I took matters in my own hands and I was like, okay, well, let's just start with a simple test first. So I went over to my number one trusted company, Thorne Research, and I ordered their gut microbiome test because I was like, okay, there's probably some imbalances. Let's see what's going on. And I love Thorne and I love their products, but y'all, this test was so thorough. It was the most thorough test, and I'm a science nerd and geek. So just seeing all the data when I got my report back just made me super happy. It's super comprehensive. I highly recommend, if you're gonna take a gut microbiome test, definitely go to Thorne and grab you one because it was 1,000% worth it. And it's pretty much just a wipe test. So like, you don't send in like a poop sample. You just like use the bathroom, wipe your butt with this special wipe that they have that can help extract the DNA. You put it in the little tube with the liquid and you ship it off, and then they test it. Super easy. I got my test results back. It basically showed that I had a severe imbalance of in my gut bacteria. So my gut microbiome was severely imbalanced, which doesn't surprise me with the symptoms that I'm having. Like, of course, that makes sense. I also found out that I had a high level of fungal elements in my gut, which is not good. But surprisingly, I did not have candida, which I was like kind of shocked, like, because I just figured like that's like the number one fungal element in your gut that can be anywhere on the body, and I didn't have it. So I'm kind of proud about that. Super comprehensive, broke everything down. Like, literally, this test tells you everything to the species that is living in your gut. So basically, my bad bacteria was super high and my good bacteria was like non-existent. So complete imbalance. It's an easy fix for the most part. It does take some time, but I started taking their probiotics, and that really, really helped balance out my gut. But y'all, I was still on the struggle bus. I was still struggling. Well, I do have a history of colon cancer in my family. So I wanted, to obviously let my doctors know, like, hey, this is going on. And I really want the full workup. Like, being a medical scientist and having that background, like, I know how important to have certain tests done and the full workup on certain tests so you can like just know your status where you are, because you don't know until you know. And sometimes you don't have symptoms for certain illnesses until like it's manifested in like super late or late stage. I don't want to be that person. I am not going out like that. I was able to get the test that I need for my gut to just get a full picture on anything that may be going on. So My doctor ordered a full GI panel workup, parasite testing. Okay, let's talk about parasites for a minute. Do y'all remember when, like, it was like a year or two ago where everyone thought they had freaking parasites and everyone was taking these drops to get rid of the parasites, and it was wild, okay? So, like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought that I had parasites, but I think it was just because I kept seeing, like, all these people do this parasite cleanse, so I was like, that's me, I need to do that, like, but anyways, back to the story. Parasite workup, I got all the works done, everything, okay? So all of my tests came back negative for everything. And I'm like, bruh, like, okay, I don't have parasites. What? The internet told me I did. Everything came back clear in that aspect. So because I do have a history of colon cancer within my family, I was able to get an early colonoscopy, especially since I was having like severe symptoms that have been going on for like years at this point. So I got a colonoscopy. Y'all, it was not as bad as everyone says it is, but I followed the instructions for, you know, cleaning yourself out to a T. So maybe that's why I wasn't suffering. Anyways, I digress. So I got a colonoscopy, and which I was really thankful and excited for, because like with my family history, y'all, I don't want to go out like that. Like, colon cancer is so prevalent now in people who are my age, in their 30s, like more than it ever has been ever in history. So I do not want to be that person, okay? So I was like, yes, colonoscopy, let's go. And it actually came out pretty good. There wasn't anything significantly like alarming in it, and I was thankful, because I was nervous. I was like, man, what if they find something? I don't know, like, what would I do? But everything was good. I basically just had some inflammation, which is like expected, because you just like prepared to get a colonoscopy, which is like you just pooping all day, just cleaning it out. So you're gonna be a little inflamed. After doing the colonoscopy, I did the gut microbiome test on my own, and then I also had a full GI panel workup done. I literally, y'all, I have stress-induced IBS. The reason why my gut was just like getting worse, like it was bad for many years, but then like the past couple years it's been really bad. And it was due to me, at that time, I was working in a hospital full time. If you're a hospital worker, you know that shit's stressful. It is stressful, very stressful. And it just like, I am not a person who's ever been used to like high pressure stress, like all the time. And it wrecked me. It like really took my gut problems that I already was experiencing and made it like 10 times worse. I started a journey of healing my gut. And also what came with this is I also started to refocus back on my own wellness, my mental wellness, because that played a lot in my stress as well. And working out, I started eating way better than I ever was, because I was super stressed. So I was just eating whatever, and I know not to do that, but I was just not mentally in the right headspace at this time due to just being in a very stressful work environment. So yeah, I started the gut healing journey by just fixing my nutrition, like really focusing on cooking more meals at home. I actually have in the comments the plan that I followed and that I created to help heal my gut. Being a fitness nutrition specialist, I know these things, right? I just gotta do them. I'm just like a normal person too. Like, I might have the resources, but that don't mean I'm gonna do it. So if you look in the description of this video, that meal plan is there and you can grab it. really cut back on my alcohol consumption, like significantly. So that really helped as well. I also, like I said, I started focusing on my mental health, which was a huge factor in helping me with my stress. I started making sure that I was meditating more throughout the week. Even if I only get like 3 minutes a day, like that is better than nothing, just to calm my nervous system and everything. And then taking my probiotics from Thorne Research because they are bomb and they really, really help. I also take berberine from them as well because it is a herbal supplement that helps with the gut microbiome. I love those. The probiotic and the berberine really, really, really helped me in combination with everything else with my gut. So now today I am having normal poops and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what real people deal with. This is great. Like, I'm not dying in the bathroom. I love this. And I don't have the severe bloatage like I used to, which is nice. And y'all, the brain fog is gone. Like, I can form a thought and tell someone without it being a lag and people just looking at me like, is she okay? Did she have a stroke? She just stopped mid-sentence. It's just staring. Like, it was that bad for me. So I actually want to go into the whole mental part of your gut and like the connection between your brain, literally, and your gut. So let's get into it. As I mentioned before, my gut problems and my symptoms weren't just like related to like how I felt in my gut. Like, it wasn't just my stomach. It was starting to affect my brain. So I don't know if you guys know this or not, but like there is a direct connection between your brain and your gut. It's called the brain-gut connection, okay? So I just want to get really sciencey here because I love that. Well, in our bodies, we have the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve runs from the base of your brain and your brainstem all the way down into your digestive tract, okay? So this nerve is responsible for a lot of different functions within our body, okay? But it is like, they call it the highway to the gut, and it starts in your brain. Wild, I know, crazy. So I was struggling with chronic fatigue. I was struggling with mental health issues. Like, I literally was like in a depression, like, and I know I was super stressed. I know this, but I do know also that a lot of it played a role with what was going on in my gut at the time and the connection to my brain. A lot of the talk with the gut-brain connection is 100% factual. I've experienced it, and it is a direct correlation. So your gut health is highly important, and it does not just affect like your belly, your tummy. Like, if you have skin issues, it could be from your gut health. If you're having like depression, anxiety, and certain symptoms like that for mental health, it could be something going on in your gut as well, because that vagus nerve is responsible for so many different functions, especially within our gut. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope that this video was informational, and I just wanted to share my story because I know a lot of people who actually are struggling with their gut health, and I'm here to tell you, do not wait like me. Do not wait. Go to the doctor or go get some testing to find out what is going on with your gut. I will say, I always recommend cleaning up your diet and making sure that you're eating more wholesome foods and not so much ultra processed foods. Also, work on your stress levels because that can throw everything off in the gut. Like yes, this gut health is real, y'all. Like and subscribe to my channel for more educational videos and just like health talks like this, because we need more of these talks. We need more transparency so that people do not have to struggle. So yes, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.